So I'm talking about what's going on, the carnage in crypto. And look, without Donald Trump coming out and somehow, credibly announcing we're going to have the reserve. Don't worry. We're going to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And it's not just going to be funded with the seized Bitcoin. We're going to go into the market. We're going to buy Bitcoin, right? Kind of like quantitative easing, except we're going to buy Bitcoin instead of bonds. Unless they come out and say that, which I don't think they're going to do. Trump's got a lot on his plate. The last thing he needs to do is expend political capital on this nonsense. But unless there's some solid, believable, credible statement that's different from just saying, what he's been saying, because he had a speech last week where he said, we're going to be the crypto capital, right? So, but unless he actually says something, I don't see what's going to stop the decline right now in Bitcoin. And, despite the fact that we've had this drop, nobody's negative. I watched the coverage, on CNBC. Everybody is bullish. Everybody's shrugging it off. Buy the dip. Nothing to worry about, like overlooking the bloodbath in these crypto stocks. What's happening with all the other tokens that are not Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is also going down. There's no fear. There's no panic. There's no capitulation. That's coming. But again, I think the first place we're going to get it is from the ETFs. And I've been talking about this since these ETFs started. That there's going to eventually be a lot of liquidation, and that's going to overwhelm the markets because there's not going to be enough real buyers who, can pay with real money and not tether to let these guys out because the ETFs own a very large percentage of the float of what actually trades in Bitcoin. And, they haven't been spooked yet, but, a lot of these guys, most of them, I would say, they're not diehard Bitcoin maxis. They just jumped on a moving train. They wanted to make an easy buck. And when it turns out that they're losing money, I think they're going to, take their chips and go to another casino. And they're going to find that it's a lot easier to get into these ETFs than to get out because, people tend to want to get out in a rush, right? So people might have been buying over a year, but all of a sudden, all those people, let's say half of them want to get out in a few days, right? There's just not the volume to absorb that.